The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13.
Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by Lavonte David. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Bridgewater. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Barry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Barry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
White is into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They're going to look to throw. Finding Kyle Pitts running the slant. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Up the middle they go. Tillman. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
The Falcons at 5-4 now on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Handing it off, right side, Algier.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, this defense for the Bucs, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
But nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Tampa Bay. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago. Their 2nd straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along. And from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively. And this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
Here's Algier again on 2nd down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. They'll look to throw.
Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big play there on the catch and run. 38 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just have receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On play action, it's Bridgewater. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And this is caught by Evans. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Falcon football.
Ready up.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted.
Picked up by Lavonte David.
And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ezekiel Elliott, his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list.
And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. All told, it's a loss of 8 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. Running right through him. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. From the gun, Bridgewater. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Back to throw here.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Up the middle they go. Tillman, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah. Which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that'll get the deficit down to 15.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. On 2nd down, Elliott.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And right side, they're going to go option here. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover, but I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
From just shy of midfield, Bridgewater looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. A first down carry by Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These two teams, they met in Tampa earlier in the year with the Bucs prevailing in that one. So a win here in Atlanta would give them the season sweep. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Bridgewater now. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Otten brings it in over the middle. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Finding Otten once more. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. He's got it. And he's brought down. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. Bridgewater with a keeper. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bucs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. So the penalty on the offense, no need to accept that. They'll decline it, and the interception will stand. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. Airing this one out for Evans. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bucks with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. First down, Bridgewater. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. 2nd and 5. To throw, Bridgewater. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. This one taken in by Otten. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. And even 50 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone, possibly get a little bit too greedy right there.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Ready?
He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. They'll look to throw here. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation, very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down. The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
On 2nd down now, Tillman. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bucs are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
To throw again on second down, Bridgewater. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A give to Elliott running left. And even 150 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And right side, they're going to go option here. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Drop just inside the 20. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept the pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. On 2nd and 10, Bridgewater. Here's a quick slant to Ezekiel Elliott. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2.
Inside give to Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Throwing, Bridgewater. That's caught at the 1. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a pickup of 6.
White, no signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. Elliott is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. 3rd and goal, option right. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Dancing to his left. And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Buccaneers are going to have it here just past the 25.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 8. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Throwing is Bridgewater. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw.
This pass is caught by London. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through.
This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop,
I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake. Bridgewater. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and that'll keep this a 19-point game. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Steps away to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Falcons have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Ritter will throw for it. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
A handoff left. Elliott. And some room to roam now. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Throwing here, Bridgewater. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Elliott running right. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Bridgewater. And this one dropped in the end zone. Oh, looked like a touchdown, but not to be, and now it's 4th down. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The offense coming back out here, plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bucs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott.
And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Bridgewater here to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Buccaneers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Again, it's Elliott. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 3rd down, Elliott. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Tampa Bay, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.